there were so many cases.
Guy,
Yeah.
many people are getting. I've just anywhere you turn, left, right, or center like this, some more people just they go just they say you're missing.
They miss, and there is no.
Boy, nowhere, nobody is even trying to even. Nobody, even this thing.
What's the most?
All right, so let me share my screen. Meanwhile, did anyone read that investigative article by what's his face? That guy.
Yeah, I read it.
Guy, man, that thing shook me.
It was crazy.
It seemed be like unfolding action film.
It was crazy. See, it just let me know that this country where we did now just vibes.
From beginning to end.
From beginning to end, guy. Like we don't have a government. Like it's clear, like, and that's one of the things I realized, and that's one of this year. I told myself I'm not going to bother myself too much about things like this because I don't realize, see, this our government. Everything we do like this, everything is by design. Do you understand? Like all this government is bad, is by design. There's a reason for it. Like it's deliberate. So
it's on purpose.
It's on purpose. Thank you. Because again, you have to understand, and that's one of the reasons why. And because my sister told me this thing, and I was talking to my sister about this. She was telling me that look, that why do you think in all these people we keep recycling terrible leaders? Because the leadership of this country does not need the people in general. Like you have the support of the people in general. They don't need it. What they need is just have control over the resources of the country, one, and know the right people who are in power. Finish. They don't need to cater to the needs of the people. Because this kind of thing, if you look at the West and you look at the more advanced countries, they are not as dependent as we are on our natural resources.
Yeah.
You understand? They need to invest. They need to invest in the people. Do you understand? They need to invest in the people that they have. Do you understand? So things like stocks, so people's taxes, they need people to pay their tax so that they can actually have the opportunity to. So
that there's a functional government, right?
Improvements. In Nigeria, the government does not really care. The tax, how many people pay tax? And even the ones that pay tax, what do they use the tax to do? Everything in this country is determined by how much oil we get, how much oil we sell, or how much oil we export. That's everything that's the beginning and end of everything. Yes, now, like that's just it. So all the things they are doing, once they can have the resources in control, that's how they can find a way to get revenue from oil. Well, if now the oil is even drying up, so now they are looking to be collecting debts, collecting loans here and there, servicing loans here and there, so loans that they cannot pay back. As long as they just want to feed themselves. That's why Nigeria is where it is today. We're just daft in this country. Daft. Like at this stage, me, anybody at this stage, everybody just go and buy passports. That's it. Like if you don't have passport,
it's scary here. It's scary.
Yeah, at points now, if you don't get passports, you're on your own. No. Because waiting person go dey find for this country. Waiting we dey find for here. Waiting dey this country.
Where's Kerry? Kerry is not here. Okay. Let me try and see if I can get Kerry. Okay. So I think the last Hangout, the last session we actually did, we came up with this wireframe, right? And we had already divided it into, hero area, features. No, This is like payoff, features, brands, vanity metrics, customer testimonials, download section, and the payment, the what's it called? Agency banking sections, and then the content footer. So, but all of this was done at the wireframe level. So today we are going to try to flesh this out a lot more into an actual design and see where that actually takes us. Now, I think before we actually even begin, who here did the who worked on it? Who worked on the wireframe, or who created their own designs?
I didn't really touch it. That I didn't have time to work on it. I was just I didn't have time. I was actually looking at what you were doing. I was trying to get your rationale for actually creating the wireframes. That's why I was in that meeting.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't working. I was just trying to see how you work.
Okay, the person is that it wasn't in the last session. I was actually hoping that we'll just check out. I was hoping that we'll just check out the. Oh gosh. We'll be able to check out like people's ideas and designs, and then just try and flesh out something on my own. But unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be that. I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, Orians is saying that this is his first time here. Welcome. So what I'm trying to accomplish now is a lively, colorful design. But for the past 3-4 days, I've been having some kind of block. You see, I don't want a scenario. Hold on. Let me go to logo. Oh Jesus, Nigeria logos, so I can get Paga's logo there. I don't want a situation whereby we're doing like the typical, the stereotypical kind of scenario. Let me see Paga. I don't want to do something that is boring. Is Paga down? Okay, no. I don't want to do something that is boring. I want something that is interesting and forward-looking and exciting. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get to that. But I have faith. I have faith that we might be able to come up with something here today with the help of you guys. Because to be honest, I don't know how I'm going to manage this shit on my own. I'm just letting you know now. So initially I had an idea. Let me lay out the grid first. Typical 8 points for your mesh grid. Then you lay out your rows, set it to auto so it's continuously cascades, set it to the type to top, and let your height be 8, let your gutter be 8 so that it's consistent. Now you zoom in, you see that it's aligned, which is like pretty dope stuff. And then for the final grid, which is your column grid, this is where the math usually happens. Set left, this is 88, this is 16. Yeah, I got it. I actually got it. Because this thing is sometimes usually hard to get. It's quite usually hard to get. So I'll just keep this here.
I'm still trying to figure out how to go out get this thing right. This baseline grades and
I'm using 8 point. I'm using 8 point grades. Yeah. So where I usually miss it is usually when I'm arranging columns. So you know, see what I normally do. The first thing I do is I first of all do the grid, the mesh grid, right?
Okay.
Do the mesh grid, set it to 8. You know, let each cell side be 8 pixels. Now after you've done the mesh grid, the next thing you want to do is the rows. Don't do the columns, do the rows. Now the rows, you want a scenario whereby it starts at the top and it's 8 pixels high and has a gutter of 8 pixels. So it's consistent. You understand?
Okay.
Now after you set your rows, then the final part now is your columns. Now the columns is tricky. Remember, the value that you're supposed to set, the value that you're supposed to get has to be divisible by 8. But not only that, it also has to match. It also has to have some kind of balance. Now, if you start tinkering now with things like 44, for example, you start seeing that it's beginning to shift out of sync with the mesh grid that we put under.
Oh, there's
Obviously 44 is not even divisible by 8. So let's even try 48 first. Now you will also notice that at 48, this grid cuts off at this point here. You notice that this is wide, but this is not as wide, right? And by the time I add like another 8, try 56, you see there's a gap here. Okay, so let's try 64 and if that gives us any good results. No, same problem. 64, 72, same problem. 80, same problem. 88. So I think it's 88 that actually works for us in this scenario. If you backtrack and say 32, for example, we have this problem. 40 will probably also give us this. Oh no, okay, 40 is even perfect. 40 works. So we can decide to either go with this one or this one. So your choice. What do you think we should go with?
88 is bigger. It gives us more space, and I think that's easier. 40 is very small. The spacing is very small.
No, the spacing is small, but if you really look at it, like there's yeah.
I say most beginners are used to 12 column spacing. So the 88 one is, I think, is 12 column spacing now, right?
It's not 12. I'm not counting my columns. This is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm not counting.
Oh, wow.
Don't count my columns. Even with account columns, man, like, you know, I usually cut cap for people, but good luck with that shit, bro.
I don't care. I use the 12 column grid. I still use it because in the instant I'm still traditional like that. And it's not like as if I'm.
But in the technical sense of it, we are still working with 12, because if you take away this one and we take away this one,
yes, that's exactly what I wanted to say. So it's even similar to this actually. You get. It's just that I don't like to think too much like this. Run with. In fact, what I even do these days, I break it into 2 steps. In fact, my design, the entire screen, I just break it into 4 different columns. Straight. That 4 different columns. Inside that 4, I'll ensure that the spacing is uniform in those 4 columns like that. That's what I'm running with. I don't care.
So what I wanted to do what I wanted to do was I wanted a scenario whereby we would be able to play a lot with circles. You get, like, I wanted us to be able to play with circles. Unfortunately, it just hasn't clicked in my head yet how that is going to work.
Circles, have you?
Yeah, circles. So it hasn't just clicked in my head yet how that's going to work. I'm still just literally trying to I'm literally just trying to experiment at this point. Okay, so let me try some ideas. Right? The logo is going to have to appear somewhere at some point. Where's the logo that we just downloaded? Right here, right? Good. So let's shrink it a bit. And let's bring it up here. Those who know me know that I don't really put in a lot of effort naming my layers. So I'm sorry if you have PTSD at this point. I actually don't name my layers. Look, it's bad. See, no. See, it's bad practice. I'm just saying, it's actually very bad practice. You must name your layers, especially if whatever it is you are doing to end up in the hands of a developer, or I mean, most likely it's actually going to end up in the hands of a developer. So name your layers. But me, I'm Leslie. I don't.
This is why I like to use. Which is me, I don't name my layers, but the way I do it is I try as much as possible to that's why I prefer to use other secondary handouts like Anima. So Anima, yes. So I don't have time to be naming my layers. I beg. Once you see the elements there, bam.
What to do with it, man? Stop asking me foolish questions.
Yeah, ask me stupid questions. Like, I'm too tired for all this. I don't need this energy right now. So yeah, that's why I'm a big advocate of third-party applications. Not because Figma too sometimes can want to be making things hard for all of us. Like
Unnecessarily.
Like last week, I was even exploring other third-party applications for advanced prototyping. I was looking at Framer. Framer is not as bad as you say it was. Although now it's complex, but one of the reasons why I was even thinking about Framer is because now Framer has his own React library.
They've had it for a while.
Had it for a while, actually. And
the
thing I like about it is that unlike normally now when you're building out your prototypes, like you have to actually like have you have to create your prototypes from scratch and things like that. So there on Framer, there you have like templates at interactions. For example, input fields, they already have a template for it. So you don't even need to say, okay, do this. No, it's there. The only thing you just say, just connect and call this an input field. It already give you the interaction you want. If you want a slider, just connect it, select it as a slider. It will show you, it will bring you, if it's two states is looking for, you bring the two states and connect them as a slider. So it's almost like the way we do variants, but they are using variant format in interaction. Do you understand? Yes.
That's
it's advanced and it's very fast. Like you can prototype. As in when I was going through it, I was like, so these guys have actually sat down to even think about this thing. Even the same thing with Prototype. Prototype too does the same thing. It's just that Prototype does not export code. That's the difference. This Framer does. Framer exports in React, exports to CSS. So that's why that one is that's why now it's a bit more expensive because Framer is I think $15. Sorry, Prototype is $15, I'll be $13 or so. Framer is like $25. Then Marvel, I tried to look at Marvel, but Marvel, the interactions, they are not.
No, Marvel is still primitive. They have not really left
They've
that
not
bad
moved
behavior.
forward. They've not moved forward a bit in this thing. But I was really looking at them. I was looking at Frame. I was like, wow, that they've actually improved. They sat down and tried to as much as possible to improve their interaction skills, and you can import directly from Figma. So your
Yeah.
artboard, select all your artboards, you import directly to Figma. You don't need to save or you understand. From Figma itself, you just export all your artboards, everything will come into the Framer this thing dashboard and your Framer project you get. So it's pretty nice. Although I'm still looking at it, I'm still trying to do a little bit of research so that I don't go and make because I want to pay for it. There's so many
Oh.
things I want to pay for it. So I want to check it out and see how I want to whether it's something that will work for me. You
Hmm.
pay for Figma.
Oh yeah, well, it's a company that pays for it. It's not me. I can't be justice. You will not kill me in Jesus' name. You will not kill me in Jesus' name.
Oh God.
Oh, it's one of the things I need to miss. But anyways, wherever I land, definitely they'll have to pay for Figma because there's no way in this world I'm going to be using my own money to pay for Figma that people are still going to use. You bad jokers. Pay for that shit. Don't be stupid.
My office, they said it, this way I am. They said that I should export as PNG. That would
Eh?
be, I said, me argue with them. Hey, is what they want. See, I've checked out mentally from that place. Mentally. Shebi, he said,
Export me. I will export for a developer as PNG. It's not going to happen. No. It's not going
see,
to
maybe it's $15 that is making you people per month that you are talking like somebody that is poverty stricken. You understand? No problem. Let's be doing the poverty together. At the end of this week, I didn't do anything. Like I be last week because I didn't pay for Figma and everything. Didn't pay.
Oh!
Yes, now. I laugh. Last week I didn't do anything. I just deflex. I did watch film anyhow. And he asked me, say, why? I can't. You are not paid for Figma. I can't do anything. I can't share. Do you want me to export it as PNG? Yeah, you say yeah, no problem.
No.
Now I think now they're even thinking now whether they want to pay because now they're having issues because they can't. The developers themselves, the front end developers, they are not great to begin with. For them to now say that they want to start converting the pages into CSS and things like that. So I think they want to finally pay. That's why I was telling you that time that I was very happy that they made this thing premium. So that all these bastard companies that don't want to pay for design. Yes, that's the thing. It will affect them bad because even if you convert to PNG, oh yeah, give developer now. Share a picture where developer go to use the listen. You can't they use slice 2 for Photoshop.
Slice too. Like, do you even not have shame?
Did they? Maybe that's what they're saying now. They say you can use the slice to use Photoshop to slice the kidney. I was suggesting it to them, but when I was suggesting it, I was laughing.
You said you're a wicked person.
No, since you want to be cheap now, let's all open Photoshop. You open the thing, you be slicing the thing one after the other. Rubbish. Think I have time for all this.
Okay, I want to try. Oh, will I be able to pull this off?
I think you should center align that.
Yeah, it's going to be center aligned. But what I'm actually more interested in is how
You're looking for the
because
layout.
I'm just trying to like knock out to figure out the best like the best arrangement for this thing because there are going to be images inside of these circles and they're not necessarily going to have this color. You get? So it's going to be something like this. But on the flip side, I don't want it to now look like one big flyer. No, you laugh now. Why you like this?
The way you talk,
You said think you want it to be dope, yeah, but you don't want it to now look like one flyer that they just cut out from CorelDRAW and now put. Not that CorelDRAW is bad, but you want it to look dope.
You just indirectly said CorelDRAW is bad, but don't worry.
Oh, no, guy, now that's what I said. Now, why you like this now? Please, now. I said no such thing. No, Corel slander will not be tolerated on this channel, please.
They will cancel you one day. You know you are a design leader. One day you go attack them, they will come for you. They will come for you like this dude. What is this our guy now? What's that his name? Senpai, Abi Henry. What's that his name? That guy just likes to cause problem on social media. I don't know why. There's one Henry guy that is always on Twitter now that is always arguing, shouting that.
Is this Senpai?
Senpai, yes. He likes fighting. He likes to cause problems. I'm like,
so here's the thing with Senpai. Here's one thing I realized about Senpai. The day I knew that I actually had problems with Senpai. No, what I mean by problem is I have nothing against him, but you really, really need to sit down and think about where he's coming from to understand what he's trying to say and then decide what
this is my problem with.
So one day he said something. Hold on. One day he said something. And I just reacted. I know I read it and I reacted. I just did my reaction and I just, packed my bags and just went off. Like 5 minutes later, I came back. I looked at this thing again and like, wait. And I read it like 3 times. I can't think and say, there might be a little bit of merit to what this donkey is saying. You understand? Like, because I mean, there are clearly stupid people on Twitter. You just come out and you just open your mouth, wow, and then things fly out and you hope for the best. I don't want to believe that Senpai is unintelligent. I don't think that's the case.
No, I don't believe you. That's not even my issue with him.
He might not be properly.
And I used to have that issue with him and this guy. I had an issue like that too with one Pixel Dan, Daniel.
Yeah, Dan, yeah.
I had an issue with Dan too because those were the guys that were advocating that all the designers must know how to code.
Oh, those were everybody knows my stance on that. Nobody can come. See, you will notice that whenever they have this discussion, they don't come.
You understand? He was telling me that as a designer, if you don't know how to code, and Daniel Otu was supporting that. I said, bro, you know how to code, great,
delightful, actually.
It's your journey. Is what you've come to see. You can do it. It's fine. You can't now come and determine that this is.
You can't now come and make it my problem.
You understand? Like, you can't make it a standard. Like, where did they write it in the standard that you should know how to code? Where? Now, we that learned how to code, me now, I know how to write JavaScript. It's not a problem. But me, I'm of the belief system that people have different design journeys. Do you understand? There's some people that are designers that, as designers now, if they are going to pick up anything, it might not necessarily be design. It might be management to even pick up. It might be project management. It might be product management. I mean, right now, as I'm talking to you now, I'll be picking up a lot of things on product management in terms of what they call it, hooks and metrics and things like that. There's no what they call it, final what they call it, it all and yes, of say, okay, this is what as a designer you should be doing. That does not exist. Because let me tell you something, there are front-end developers abroad, front-end developers, in fact, back-end developers that will discuss design system and things like that, that will open Figma for you.
Mm-hmm.
And this, will you now say that all front-end developers should know Figma? No, now. I mean, we have UX engineers, for God's sake. They are like the highest paid kind of engineers you will find. They can open Figma. Will you now say that all engineers, front-end engineers, should use Figma? You can't. That's not how, people have different design journeys. Whatever skill you choose to pick up. I know designers that understand SQL tables easily. Like, they can decipher, put out what they call it design just by looking at an SQL table. People have different, do you understand? People have different journeys. You can't now say because something works for you, you now say, almost serious matter. That same guy, I've been fighting with him since 2017 because of it. It was the same person that went to put on social media that Firebase, with Firebase, you can replace back-end development. Like, guy, why?
No, what's that? What's the meaning of that? What kind of smelling nonsense is that?
Oh. You not online. You were not online.
Oh, guy, I'm not always. You
me.
Whenever they have those discussions, they call me, and it's with good reason.
You see, the reason why now my guy they fight him because that my guy, the guy they work for Vogue Pay before, the guy don't come out. The guy na engineer. So when you see him, the guy they vex, all of them, and most of my guys with they my tier, all of them be engineers. they attack the guy, they attack the guy. When I can't look up, they use them, they tackle me like say now all these designers they talk. I say, bros, say me, I did. Say I was part of the looking for me. Say like people see your people, say you want you replace backend with Firebase. I said, bro, that's the thing I always try to tell people, and I try as much as possible to say this to people that look.
Oh God.
Firebase, you like guy. oh God. Wait, I remember very well. I can never forget that. I can never forget it. I remember it was madness. Firebase. I was not asking one babe. I was asking this babe, Dami. Do me this girl I did. I was asking her that. Also, go talk. She said, "Mike." She said, "Alaye."
She don't dare. I do like.
Say, please. She's not ready for all this. I said, "Speak now. You are a design leader. Talk." He said,
I beg.
She has work to do.
You understand? This conversation is not profiting me, please.
It's not what, please. Omo, I shocked that deal. Firebase. He shocked me. He shocked me. I'm not gonna lie you. He shocked me. Firebase. You can't make designers look like say we don't know anything. My own thing is, fine, he's very intelligent and he's very inquisitive, which is a great asset to have. Do you understand? But one of the things you have to remember is that, guy, your experience and your journey in design can never be. It's not the same. It's not the same for everyone. One of my guys was there looking at me when I was I was opening After Effects. Said that you start peer pressure. I said, bro, you don't know how I came about this After Effects. It wasn't because of I like it. It's a necessity. I learned it by necessity. Your journey is not the same. Like if you feel like you like it, like if you feel like you have a passion for it, or you feel like it's something that you want to learn, by all means, go for it and things like that. But don't let another person define your design journey. Like, guys, your own. You have to find something that motivates you. You can't now come and determine that, you must learn how to code. Like there was one podcast I was listening to Chris Do. Chris Do even later corrected himself on that. Before initially was giving a list of things that as a designer, a 21st century designer, you should know. This was about 2017. Later on, I think recently, he said that thing that he said actually that he wants to correct it, that there's no one way to look at design. That you can start off as a graphic designer and become a AR generalist. Like your journey, it does not. There's no. In fact, you can design. Like there are AR generalists that do a lot of things, augmented reality and things design. They don't use Figma. They use sketch.
I almost okay. So not even I almost actually. I actually wanted to dive into. I still want to. If I get a chance to, I still want to dive into AR because the applications are. Just hold on a bit. I need to go around this journey. The applications are limitless. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. So like I was saying that I think AR is still something I like if I have the chance to, yeah, I'll dive into it because there is there's a lot of potential in it, a lot of possibilities in it, and
Very true.
there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of like applications for AR out there. It's just that the local market is not ripe. That's number one. The international market isn't yet ripe for AR.
Yeah, they are still experimenting with it,
They're
right?
experimenting with it, you understand. And as soon as they figure out like a very strong use case for AR, man, the way it will blow,
That's the thing. That's one of the things guy, 3D. We've not even begun to do 3D yet.
Yeah, don't even
We've not begun.
Don't even stress me, man. Don't start stressing me.
That will not stress you. See, guy, at the end of the day, me, I believe something. I can't kill myself because this one of the reasons why, and this one of the things I say this with confidence that nobody can kill me again. Before I was telling you now last year, like this guy, there are designers in this Lagos where they see God. I don't like checking, like I don't like to check. How do I put it? All these guys that post their work on Twitter and things like that, I don't like they check their work.
No, they give yourself heart attack. There's no point. It will never end well.
No, I said before, I don't like they check their work because if I dey check them, I go dey sad. I go look, see wetin person they do. Meanwhile, you dey here. I tell you that Figma mama babe, what's that her name?
Daring.
I unfollowed her on Dribble. I unfollowed her on Twitter because I didn't want to be seeing her work. Because there was one night I was going through her work, guy, I was just sad. Like,
why, guy? Why?
I now open my Figma file. I can't look, say, God, wetin be this?
Not marvel at the nonsense you're doing all the
time. But I can't think I can't say, look the company where she did. And look where I did.
Mm.
This creativity, she cannot have it. Yeah, it's not possible.
And
Cannot have it. That's what I used to tell myself.
you got you to tell yourself, go sleep happy.
You cannot have it in this company. It's not possible. I say, don't worry, I'm doing well. Bro. I swear, because how they look, the girl's work is what? And when did she learn design? I remember when she said she started that is her first design. I can remember when she posted that. I think she posted it on Twitter. Was it Twitter or Instagram or so? She posted it on this UI UX Nigeria post.
Yeah.
So that was the first time I saw her work, and we were like, okay, you know now, yes, no problem, you can do it. Do you understand? Omo, the girl don't go. Omo,
Get up.
there are many girls that put the fear of God in me. Like they will go and learn this. I know how females are. They go and it's the fine parts. You'll not be looking at it like, come, she, wait now, don't at least.
No. So here's my theory. You know, I think I was having this discussion with I think someone was saying some things, you know, pertaining to design on Twitter back then. And then I was trying to claim that no, the person said something to the effect that, you know, women are better designers, you know, and I was trying to claim that look, it's not like I disagree with you.
I don't understand? Like better designers. What does that mean?
Oh, hold on. So I was trying to like claim that look, it's not like I disagree with you. Sure, I understand. But we need to actually look at the metrics properly, look at the data properly. First of all, there are the women who are more successful designers or who are better designers often learn in a classroom environment, in a structured learning environment.
That's another thing. Yes, very true.
And most of the guys who are actually successful when it comes to design, you will not see them in a classroom.
More.
It's the truth. They're always out there experimenting. They're always out there learning multiple sources. At the same time. Okay, like take Overlay for example. Now, this is my second cohort. My best designers in class are women. In cohort 1, it was Nana and Esther Daniels. In cohort 2, it was Eni Abu and one other girl that is I've forgotten.
Is it Ene?
Yeah, wow. Ene. Yeah.
And like she's even part of these people now. She's already part of Meaningful Gigs, and she's in my group now.
You understand? So
yeah, very inquisitive babe like this.
You understand? Very, very smart girl. And then even while I was teaching as tutor, yeah, I've forgotten the name of my students, yeah. But the girls that were there outperformed the guys.
Yeah. Wow.
The girls that were there outperformed the guys. But here's now where the metric now gets strange. The best of the women are hardly ever better than the best of the men.
So the guy that is extremely, extremely good.
Wait, see, that's what I'm saying. The women that are extremely good are hardly ever better than the guys that are extremely good. Sure, you understand?
Yes.
It's very rare to actually see a woman outperform a woman at the highest point, outperform a guy at the highest point. This is not bias. This is not me spitting this thing. There is data to support this. Look around. You understand? Then at the lowest end, the worst of a woman is never as bad as the worst of a man. I'm telling you, like the metrics are weird, but it's what we have to deal with.
Like I was even saying, because that day I was even thinking about it. I was saying that okay, a lot of these girls' designs, they are pretty attractive and they are pretty. I won't even lie to you, like they look good. like her dashboards and things like that. They look good and things like Daring.
Daring. Oh no. Daring is the dashboard queen.
They are
I
good.
will
Oh,
I
bro,
will even hide the dashboard queen.
bro, this is the
You
thing
sabi
now.
the dashboard.
Now, this one of the things I asked her. I asked myself that if this babe can't do the kind design way me I dey do, okay, make I give example now.
Mhm.
I dey build fraud engine. I dey design fraud engine. I dey design management portal, like POS management portal. All those technical things.
Yeah.
You understand? Because and usually, especially things that have to do with B2B businesses don't like those things.
Mm.
One of the biggest problem when I first come in transact, I dey try design all those kinds. They dey look me say, guy, this is usability that they are looking for. Do you
Oh,
understand?
no. I think it's
If she now starts designing like that in a place where B2B, like usually B2B businesses are like this, she might have issues. She might have issues, one, and even if she's going to adapt, she's going to use a lot of the creativity that she currently has. So where she's working also helps. Eden is a place whereby you understand?
yeah.
Eden is a place whereby they actually, like, first of all, their products are B2C products. Do you understand? So
Where does she work?
yeah, Eden is B2C now. In a customer, they need customers like to this thing.
No. Where does she work? Where does she work?
Eden now.
Eden. Oh, okay. Eden Life. Oh, yeah. That's true.
Yeah, that's where she works. So Eden Life is a place where we say now for, do you understand? Now customer product, one, and two, now young people. So it gets some designs where they go see, where they go look, say more. So it go give them more urge. The environment urges her to be creative.
So she basically has an enabling environment that helps her to create.
Enabling environment. That's why I always tell people where you work is important.
Oh well, guy, that is key.
Where you work is very important, and I'm happy for her because me personally, I know that if I was in that kind of environment, I know say I might not necessarily be as good as her, but I because my background in motion, I know say I go do some kind of foolish things. But when you dey place where we say dashboard, the first 10 products I work dashboard, and no be dashboard where we say technical products, things like inventory system, things like fraud engines, things like management portal, like all those tech, and it's
all those boring nonsense.
Nonsense. Like you go to read documentation, 60 something pages. They gave me SQL table now to decipher design. I was from Sky. Like even when I opened the vision, like it took me like say 15-20 minutes to get accustomed to, like, okay, let me try and be creative. Like it's a thing now. I have to step out of that technical mode. Before I start designing. And it's almost that's not as possible. Anytime my free time, I just open dribble and just be looking.
May not be like say,
I might not. I just just feast my eyes on something very creative or something. Not every time. Form field. Menu. Tabs.
Those developers, the moment they run into problem, the first instinct that they have is to color that command button blue. That's the first thing they have. They don't want to know anything. That's the first instinct. Like just color that command. They don't care. Well, I think we've established that Daring works in an enabling environment, an environment whereby they are clearly advocates for design. They know what design. They know the impact and value of design. You get. They know the impact and value of design, because if that was not clear, if that was not clear, she would not be. I mean, let's face it. She would not be able to thrive.
Yeah, she will not thrive there at all.
Simply will not thrive.
Yeah, at all. That's very true. Because I was even saying that, Omo, relax, you dey Eden. No be saying all those guys, like they see the important. If you dey work for place where we say they go tell you say your work na cosmetics, guy, or they'll tell you that this design you put, you are just your work is like painting and all these things. That is not the real. This thing is in the engineering.
But yeah, there's only 3 of us on this stream.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You don't come out.
I don't know, Michelle. Well, it's not for
somebody will still watch it, Avec. Bro, what do you want? This hero section, is that what you are going with?
For now, like I don't have any other ideas, but I think I don't have any other ideas right now. If I do, but I think this is what I would.
You know what I think?
What?
I think are you really adamant on playing around with those circles?
Yes.
Okay.
Why
because of the logo. I see why. I understand. So I'm even saying now. Okay, I see what you're trying to do. I'm just thinking now how to hold on. There's something I want to check. Because I'm looking at how that hero section, at least I'm looking at the layout.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to find something that because at the end of the day, one of the things usually will, because of the colors of those colors, you have to those colors are very vibrant, so you have to do something that allows people to be attracted to that particular layout. There was one website I used to remember. I don't know if they still have it. I think they've changed it. It was this guy's Libra.
Libra?
Is it Libra? I'm coming. Let me check for it. Yeah. I'm coming. Just give me a minute, please.
All right.
What's the name of this website? Okay. So the website has colors like this, these types of colors, these very bright colors. But the people who did the website, what's that their name? Is it Unfold? This company.
Unfold. Oh yeah, those guys are dope.
Yes, they were the ones that did that website. So I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to find.
Unfold is a dope company. Yeah.
Those guys are not okay. Their creativity is madness. Unfold. There's even one company like that in Asia. Is it Net Guru? Those ones. those ones you go to look design. You go to ask yourself where you want even start.
Am I practicing this thing or am I having?
Maybe another thing that they do for all those countries, because guy, the designs, the things they come up with, the kind of creativity that they come up with. I can't find it. I'll find this thing today. I know I've seen it before.
And they come. Oh God. You know that freedom to do it your way. Okay. I'm not doing this thing. I'm not getting it yet. I'm not getting it yet.
Okay.
I've not started getting it yet.